All right, friends, so you should be on page 59 in your ELA notebook now. So I want you to take a look at your story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Maybe you've heard the story before, maybe you haven't. That's okay. I want you to go ahead and under this flap here, I want you to make a prediction about the story. Okay, make a prediction about the story. Then tell me what clues helped you make that prediction. All right, so now that you've made your prediction, while you're reading the story, I want you to tell me, did your prediction change and was your prediction correct? And then maybe say what happened in the story. All right, friends, so make sure you have your reading tools out. And then while we read the story too, we can take some notes on the story. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Long ago, a shepherd boy sat on a hilltop, watching the village sheep. He was not fond of his job. He didn't like it one bit. He would have liked something wonderful to happen, but nothing remarkable ever did. The shepherd boy watched the clouds move softly by to stay busy. He saw horses, dogs, and dragons in the sky. He made up stories with these things as characters. So let's go ahead and turn to page 60. And let's talk about the problem in the story. What problem is the boy having? Oh, you're not sure? Well, let's reread it. Long ago, a shepherd boy sat on a hilltop, watching the village sheep. He was not fond of his job. He didn't like it one bit. He would have liked something wonderful to happen, but nothing remarkable ever did. So the problem he's having is he doesn't like his job, right? He's bored. The shepherd boy is bored at his job. And remember, friends, you can pause this to finish writing. If I was going a little too fast for you, you can always pause the video. So now we're going to continue reading. So we'll take our story. Actually, no, first let's talk about the steps to the solution. So let's reread that second paragraph to talk about the steps he took to solve his problem. The shepherd boy watched the clouds move softly by to stay busy. He saw horses, dogs, and dragons in the sky. He made up stories with these things as characters. So he watched the clouds and made up stories, right? So we'll do number 1. He watched the clouds and made up stories. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn to the next page. And let's see what other step he takes to solve the problem. Then one day he had a better idea. He took a deep breath and cried out, "Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is chasing the sheep!" The villagers ran up the hill to help the boy. When they got there, they saw no harmful wolf. The boy laughed. "Shepherd boy, don't cry wolf, unless there really is a wolf," said the villagers. They went back down the hill. That afternoon, the boy again cried out, "Wolf! Wolf! The wolf is chasing the sheep!" The villagers ran to help the boy again. They saw no wolf. The villagers were angry. "Don't cry wolf when there is no wolf," they said. The shepherd boy just smiled. The villagers went quickly down the hill again. So what is he doing now to get rid of his boredom? Right? He keeps yelling wolf even though there's no wolf. So he keeps yelling wolf even when there isn't one. All right, so let's finish reading the story, and we'll find out what was his final solution to the problem. That afternoon, the boy saw a real wolf. He did not want the wolf to grab any of the sheep. The boy thought the wolf would snatch one of them for a delicious, tasty meal. A sheep would be a big feast for a wolf. He quickly jumped to his feet and cried, "Wolf! Wolf!" The villagers thought he was tricking them again, so they did not come. That night the shepherd boy did not return with their sheep. The villagers found the boy weeping real tears. "There really was a wolf here," he said. "The flock ran away. When I cried out, 'Wolf, wolf,' no one came." A kind man talked to the boy as they walked slowly back to the village. "In the morning we'll help you look for the sheep," he said. "You have just learned one of life's important lessons. This is something you need to know. Nobody believes a person who tells lies. It always is better to tell the truth." So the boy learned his solution, right, was to not to take his job seriously and tell the truth. All right, so once you're all done with this, you are done with the Nearpod. Great job.